guys, welcome back to another episode on my channel. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And today we are going to be talking all about syrups, okay? So if you guys have been following me on TikTok or even on my YouTube channel, you guys know, like, I do syrup hauls. I have, invested in a lot of different types of syrup, probably too many syrups if you ask normal people or TJ. It is a big collection of syrups, probably about 30 plus. So today I wanted to show you guys my syrup collection, as well as, like, I'm not going to say rank, but kind of organize the syrups into my top few favorite in each brand, as well as, like, the general, like, okay, these are good syrups, and then the ones I would not buy again overall, just so you guys don't have to go out. Like, you guys may see me on my channel or on TikTok using all of these syrups, and yes, I might make a good drink every now and then with that syrup, but truthfully, like, some of these syrups are definitely not my favorite. Maybe that's personal taste, but I probably would not buy these again, and I just wanted to show you guys what syrups I'm, like, not ideal about, and maybe that's just me. If you guys have some of these syrups and absolutely love them, or have the same love as I do for certain syrups, please let me know. And yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so let's get into those syrups that I've been diehard loving these past couple months, if not since the moment I bought the syrup and tried it. I will say there is some construction going on in the background, story of our lives, experiencing it every time I have an episode on my channel, but I apologize. I'll try to, tone down the background volume in my videos. But again, construction, probably going to be like that for the next few months, unfortunately. But yeah, let's start with Torani. I know there are most of the syrups from Torani I like, but I wanted to especially, pinpoint a few of them that I'm, like, absolutely loving. So this one, the lavender syrup, I will say it is an absolutely fantastic syrup. I think it's a great syrup. And this is coming from somebody that really never orders a lavender latte from a coffee shop. It is not a flavor I usually go towards, which is why I haven't used a whole bunch of it. But when I am in the mood for, like, a honey lavender latte, when I'm in the mood for, like, even a lavender white mocha, it has been absolutely amazing. I heard that, there are some recipes out there that call for a lemon lavender latte. I am intrigued to try that. But I will say, like, I tried a couple, I think, lavender syrups, like Modan and stuff like that. They have some good syrups, but I think this one by far has been my better lavender syrup. So I will be purchasing that again, despite me not usually having lavender lattes on a daily basis. Another one that I've been loving, and you guys actually saw this in one of my previous videos, is the Belgian cookie syrup from Torani. And again, like, I've used quite a bit of it, and I've probably had it for like a month or so now. It's a great plain latte by itself. If you want to mix it in, like, a cold foam as well on top of, like, a cookie dough latte, if you have a cookie dough syrup, it's absolutely amazing. For cookie butter lattes, this is where it's at. I have not tried the cookie butter syrup from Modan, but maybe that's even better. I don't know. Let me know, but this is a great syrup, I will say. The next one that I'm, like, basically almost out of, and I'm really sad about, is the brown sugar cinnamon syrup from Torani. TJ knows, like, the moment I found this, and I think it was like a Marshall's or Home Goods or something, I tried it immediately in the parking lot with one of the Panera coffees, and ever since then I've been loving it in my brown sugar shaken espressos. And just, like, putting it in a cold foam, let's say I make a matcha latte with the brown sugar cold foam, it has been absolutely amazing. If you do want to try, like, maybe a Belgian cookie syrup and a brown sugar combo, that is absolutely amazing. So I haven't tried a whole lot of other brown sugar cinnamon syrup, so I can't say, like, how it ranks in other ways, but I will say, like, I would buy this again, especially since it's sugar-free. So I think that is it for Torani in my top few. But moving on to Jordan Skinny Syrups. And again, I'm having a little promo with Jordan Skinny Syrups right now. If you want to get some of the syrups I talk about in this video from Jordan Skinny Syrups on their website, you can use the code Lily10, or use the link in the episode description below and get 10% off your first order of Jordan Skinny Syrups. But getting into the syrups that I've absolutely been dying for in their brand is the butter pecan syrup. I love this syrup. I will say I haven't tried another butter pecan syrup that I've enjoyed. This is by far my favorite, especially because it's sugar-free. So if you guys do end up using the promo code, if you guys do end up ordering Jordan Skinny Syrups or going out for it at Marshall's or anything like that, if you find this, pick it up. It is absolutely amazing. The next one that I've had for quite a while that I do get a hankering for and that I think is really good is their sugar-free cookie dough syrup. I think it is absolutely amazing, and it's good. I think it stays true to the flavor. I know with a lot of sugar-free syrups, it's kind of hard to stay true to the flavor, especially within the Jordan Skinny Syrup brand, because sometimes their syrups kind of meld together and they all kind of taste like each other depending on the type of syrup you get. And I think that if you wanted to go for one that really stands out, it would be the butter pecan. The cookie dough syrup is really good. And last but definitely not least, their salted caramel syrup. This has been one of my favorites, as well as one of TJ's favorites in a latte. I believe I have tried Torani's sugar-free salted caramel syrup, and honestly, I wasn't crazy about it. Their full sugar, syrup might be a lot better than their sugar-free one, but I think that in terms of sugar-free syrups, this tops the Torani one that I tried by far. So definitely go out and get these, because these are crazy. They go crazy. I have them in lattes all the time, and I cannot recommend them enough. So the next two come from Modan. And if you guys saw my most recent TikTok from a couple days ago, I just got a mini syrup haul from Modan. Okay, and they have a couple pretty crazy syrups that I just wanted to try, and I haven't really gotten a chance to really taste them to their full flavor profile in different drinks, but I have been really liking them and I wanted to share them with you guys. So the first one is a toasted marshmallow syrup. I've been liking this in a cold foam on top of either the cookie dough syrup here or the s'more syrup that I have from Torani that we'll talk about in the next set of syrups. But I think that this is really good. I know that Torani has a toasted marshmallow syrup that's a little bit more, apparently according to reviews, toasty flavored. Maybe go give that a try as well. I don't know how this compares. I think this might be a little bit sweeter, and this is not sugar-free. So, rank that as you will, but I do think it's a really good syrup. And another non-sugar-free syrup that I have from Modan is the brown butter syrup. This is so unique. I haven't been able to find it on many other websites for syrups ever. So I had to, and you guys know from my pistachio cream cold brew, I was talking about brown butter anyway. For certain recipes like the pistachio latte, I have tried this with my Jordan Skinny Syrups pistachio latte syrup, and it actually makes a pretty good pistachio latte. I don't know if it tastes exactly like Starbucks per se. I honestly think the brown butter that I made at home with the syrup tasted a little bit more like the actual Starbucks drink, but I think that this is a great latte to make like the new brown butter toffee recipe from Dunkin' and even the pistachio latte. I think this is a great syrup and a very unique syrup, by the way. Okay, so the next set I'm going to go into is the syrups that I think are good. Don't know if I would buy them again. Might even try some other ones in the same flavor, or another brands in the same flavor, I should say. So let's get into this. These are definitely hits, but I don't know if I would buy them again, if that makes sense. So the first one, coconut. I think this is a really good Jordan Skinny Syrups. I am intrigued to try the Torani and the Modan coconut flavors, which is why I put this in this pile. But I do think that this is a good Jordan Skinny Syrup if you want a sugar-free coconut flavor. Maybe, later on in another video, I can compare certain flavors like sugar-free coconut across Modan and Torani. I don't know if Modan has a sugar-free coconut. I know Torani does. So again, we'll be willing to try all of these and we'll give a full final tally of this. But I think that this is a really good syrup. I'm going to put that in the back. So there's a lot of syrups to get through in this pile. So this one, peppermint bark. I honestly think this is a great holiday flavor, especially because it's sugar-free. I would like to see if there's another combo I can do, like maybe a sugar-free mocha with a sugar-free peppermint combo. I think that it's hard to have both combined in one just because I really don't drink this type of syrup all year round, but I do think it's a great syrup. I think it's definitely on the sweeter side, and I find myself using less of this syrup than I would with other syrups from Jordan Skinny Syrups. So definitely just keep that in mind. I overall, if I had to give this a ranking, I would do a 7 or 8 out of 10. I do think it's a really good peppermint bark flavor, and it stays true to that flavor. Irish cream. Again, great Irish cream flavor. I know there's some other smaller syrup brands that do an Irish cream that I've been wanting to try, but I think this is a really good Irish cream. I would highly recommend this Irish cream. I do want to try other ones, but I think that this is a good one to start out with that is going to hit all the marks of an Irish cream cold brew, let's say at home. Okay, So this is kind of counterintuitive because I really do like this chai syrup. I think it is absolutely fantastic. I think it is definitely like a lot of the flavors that I'm going to be talking about in this pile might taste a little bit artificial tasting because they are sugar-free. I think that this is one of them. I think it hits every part of the chai syrup that you would get from Starbucks, let's say. I think it hits all those flavor notes. I do want to try a little bit more of like a different, more artisanal, I guess, type of chai syrup or a spice syrup from Modan or something like that, or from a smaller brand that kind of like gives me a different taste. Like I do like Starbucks drinks, but I kind of like to buy syrups that are a little bit more authentic or a little bit more like true to like certain spices, or a little bit different, I should say. So I do think that if you do want a chai latte at home that tastes almost exactly like Starbucks, get this syrup. Like A1, get this syrup. But I do think like just based on my personal taste, I want to try different flavor profiles than just like the generic chai that you would get from Starbucks. So that is why I put this in this pile. I think it is overall a great syrup and would highly recommend it. The next one that I'm kind of been like, you know, it's okay, is the salted egg yolk syrup from Torani. And I do think this is an okay syrup. I think it's a good syrup. I don't think I would ever buy this again. I think that it's such a niche flavor that there's only so many combos I can do with it, in my opinion. So it's definitely great on cold foams. I tend to add it with vanilla or add it with some sort of caramel flavor to kind of make a weird eggy salted caramel. So it's good. I don't think I would run out to buy this again, and you know, let that be your kind of token on whether this is something you want to get. But I do think it does taste like salted egg yolk, and I think it's good. Like it's kind of like umami, it's kind of salty, and I don't think I'd buy it again, but I think it's good. That's a little bit weird, but take that as you will. This French toast syrup. Again, you know, like those, you know, there's only so many syrups in a brand that start tasting like the same. I think that this French toast syrup, you know, tastes a lot like, let's say, the cinnamon dolce syrup that I have from them, which is, again, one of my go-tos. But I do think that, like, this is kind of like, I wouldn't buy it again. I did want to try it to see if it was any different, but it's good. It tastes kind of like cinnamony. It tastes like cinnamon dolce in this line. I think that Jordan Skinny Syrups has some great syrups, and I think that this is good. I don't think it's a great syrup though, so I would steer away from this. You know, it's not my personal favorite, but I do think if you want to go get it. It does taste like French toast. It's just not anything that I'm like, whoa, I'm crazy about, and I would have it every single day. So this one, Torani French Vanilla. So Torani French Vanilla, sugar-free. I think that it has a good flavor. It's kind of hard for me to like actually taste it though, if that makes sense. I think that it is one of those syrups that is it has the hint of like a vanilla flavor. I do want to try sugar-free vanilla in like maybe their Pure Made syrup, as well as maybe like a sugar-free vanilla bean in their line, or even like a Modan sugar-free vanilla. I'm just tempted to see if maybe like I can get a little bit more vanilla flavor. This literally kind of like tastes, it tastes a little bit sweet and it tastes a little bit like vanilla, but I'm not crazy about it. I tend to pair this with other syrups, like again, the salted egg yolk syrup, maybe like, you know, some black sesame syrup, which I'm going to talk about in a second. I just don't think I would buy this specific sugar-free French vanilla syrup again. And I might want to try different vanillas from their brand. So moving on to the toasted black sesame syrup. Again, very weird niche flavor. I tried it with the French vanilla and I think it is absolutely fantastic. I do not think I would try this again. I think the best way I've had this though is in a matcha latte with a black sesame cold foam on top, and you know, just a French vanilla matcha latte. So I think I would buy this if you're curious, but I don't think I would buy it again personally, just because the salty toasted notes that it hits is really good in a cold foam. But other than that, like, I don't think I would just have this in a latte. Like, I've tried it like that and it's kind of hard to taste the flavor. It's not a very strong flavor. It is very subtle and it gives the coffee a little bit more depth. But other than that, not a fantastic syrup, in my opinion. Sorry, Torani. I do think it's a good syrup, but it's just not my favorite. Raspberry. This is a really good raspberry syrup. I'm disappointed that it's not sugar-free, because I know that they have sugar-free raspberry syrups on the Torani website. I was unable to find a sugar-free raspberry syrup while I was out like discount shopping for syrups at like Marshall's, Home Goods, you know, all these other ones. So I think if you can find a sugar-free raspberry syrup, I would go for that personally over this. I do think this is a great raspberry syrup. And it tastes true to the raspberry. So, you know, if you don't mind the not sugar-free flavor, go for it. Chocolate macadamia nut. So this is actually a really good syrup, along with the s'more syrup that I'm going to talk about. I actually would have this in a latte going forward, you know, just plain as is, chocolate macadamia nut latte or plain s'mores latte. I do think that the flavor in and of itself is a little bit lacking. Like, I don't get a lot of the macadamia nut nuttiness unless I pair it with like a nuttier pod, like Bianco Piccolo or something along those lines. So I think that, you know, this is a good syrup. Like, don't steer away from buying it. I just think that I could probably get a more authentic tasting chocolate macadamia syrup if I got a macadamia nut syrup and mixed it maybe with some white chocolate or something like that, white chocolate toss. So take that as you will, but if you want a really good sugar-free flavor, go for it. I think this is a go-to for that. Peppermint syrup. Have no, you know, bad things to say about the syrup. I think it's really good. I've tried it in a few holiday flavors with white mocha. I think it's good. The only reason I'm putting it in this pile is that I wish it was sugar-free, and I probably won't get this peppermint again. I'm dying to try like their Pure Made Zero peppermint syrup in Torani, or even the Modan sugar-free peppermint. So I definitely would recommend it if you don't mind it being, you know, not sugar-free. And if you find it at like Marshall's, TJ Maxx, all that other fun stuff, they have these for discount there, which is why I hopped on it, because I did want to get some more holiday flavors. So I would recommend it, just not for me. Cinnamon Dolce. Again, this kind of tastes a little bit more like the French toast. I do think that this tastes almost exactly identical to the Starbucks Cinnamon Dolce latte. So if you have been wanting a sugar-free version of that, because they did take away their sugar-free Cinnamon Dolce syrup, I think go for it. I think it's a really good flavor. I don't think I would buy this again, just because I want a little bit more like depth and not so much like just to taste exactly like Starbucks type of thing. So again, if you're just starting out your coffee bar and you do want some, you know, great syrups that'll get the job done and taste just like Starbucks, go for this one. Maybe go for the what was it? The chai syrup, all that other fun stuff. Okay. So this is the s'mores one that I was talking about. It tastes like s'mores. They did a really good job for a sugar-free syrup, I will say. Don't know if I would buy this again, just because I feel like all these chocolatey syrups kind of blend together for me on my palate, and you start like really being able to take out the subtleties after a while. It just all kind of tastes like chocolate to me. So I think I would probably either buy the full sugar s'mores to see if it's like any different, like maybe it really does taste more authentically like a s'mores latte, but you know, it's good. I'll enjoy it right now with the toasted marshmallow syrup on top, and it'll be good. But again, nice like stable syrup that you can have in your coffee bar and not feel like bad about getting and feel like you won't use it, because I definitely do use it. Caramel creme cheese cake. I don't like, you know, again, like this is just one of those syrups that kind of blend together with the caramel syrup they have. Like, it just kind of tastes all the same to me. I do think it's a good syrup. Like, obviously we've been using it when I didn't have a caramel syrup. I would use this a lot to make like caramel macchiatos, stuff like that. So I would go for it. I just wouldn't buy this again, like ever. I just don't see the purpose of it when I have like caramel, when I have like, you know, these like sea salt caramel, all this other stuff. I don't see the need for it. So I do like the syrup, just wouldn't buy it again. Okay. Pumpkin pie. I think this is a great sugar-free syrup. For a seasonal flavor, I would do this again. I just think like, you know, I'm not obsessed with the whole pumpkin flavor. I did want to try this out, but I think maybe in the next couple years, like if I'm really wanting a hankering for a pumpkin spice latte, I would probably get like a pumpkin spice syrup rather than a pumpkin pie syrup. But I do think this is good. If you want like less of a spicy version of the PSL, I would get this, and it's sugar-free, which is and vegan, which is the best part about the pumpkin spice or the pumpkin pie syrup from Torani. And I know that a lot of people that are vegan or, you know, want to go a sugar-free lifestyle, they can't get the pumpkin spice latte at Starbucks, so I would go for that. I haven't tried any of the pumpkin spice flavors or pumpkin flavors at all with Jordan Skinny syrup, so I can't entirely recommend that, but I think that they would probably come out with some good ones as well, just because I kind of like their holiday flavors. I like most of them, and I think that they're go-tos if you're just trying out your coffee bar and don't really care about the subtleties and flavor type thing. But this one definitely picks up on the pumpkin flavor a lot. I've tried it with my gingerbread syrup, and it tastes amazing. I've tried it, I believe, with white mocha as well, and it tasted really, really good. So highly recommend that with some white mocha syrup as well. Okay, this hazelnut flavor. Okay, I think that this hazelnut tastes a lot better than the Torani sugar-free hazelnut, in my opinion. I think it's just a little bit sweeter and less of an essence of hazelnut. So I would buy this again, but I do want to try other hazelnut syrups. I'm not entirely crazy about this one either. I would like to try one from Modan or maybe like Pink House Alchemy or some other like artisanal syrup brands to see if they taste a little bit better. But, you know, again, stable go-to. If you want to know that this is going to taste good at the end of the day, this does taste good. I have no problem with it. I just wish it tasted a little bit different. Caramel. Again, really like this caramel. I do want to try other ones like from Modan and stuff, which is the only reason this is in this pile, but I do think that this caramel syrup is good and I would go for it again. It does taste like caramel. The other one does taste like hazelnut. I just think that it could be a little bit like truer to the caramel taste. Okay, already did that one. I think the only other one I haven't talked about is the almond. I think that this tastes like almond. This tastes great. In fact, I think that the pistachio syrup from Jordan Skinny Syrups tastes a little bit too much like almond, but I do think that they tried with that one. I think that this is the sugar-free almond syrup that I would go for again, but I'm just not crazy about the almond flavor. I've tried it with honey, like a honey almond flat white type of thing. I think that this tastes really good. Just not crazy about the almond flavor, and I probably wouldn't get this again, which is why I haven't really gone for like an amaretto flavor or anything along those lines, just because like I know myself, I'm not really crazy about almond, but I did want to try and have that in my repertoire, so to speak. So yeah, let's get into the syrups that I definitely would not buy again, and we'll wrap this video up. Okay, so the last few syrups that we have in this pile that I would not buy again one is the peanut butter cup from Jordan Skinny Syrups. I don't know if it's because I ordered this on Amazon and not on their website, but it smells like peanut butter, but doesn't taste like peanut butter. Like, truthfully, I would just go and get peanut butter and use it as like a sauce for my coffee if I want a better peanut butter flavor. I don't think that this peanut butter cup tastes like it. It kind of just, you know, meshes in with a bunch of like sweetness that I just don't think is true to a peanut butter cup flavor. Which is why I'm really surprised with, like, let's say the Belgian cookie syrup from Torani. They really stayed true to the cookie butter taste. It wasn't just like, you know, cookie tasting or anything along those lines. So I wish that, you know, this was done better to really accentuate the peanut butter taste rather than the cup taste, like the chocolate part of it. But I wouldn't recommend this, honestly. I don't know if I just got a defective one, but I don't like it. So the next one that I'm kind of torn to put on this list because it has gotten me through a lot of pistachio lattes before is the pistachio latte. I don't think I would try this by itself. Like, this is always paired with like a brown butter syrup, maybe even like a white mocha, something along those lines, because I don't like how it tastes by itself. I think it tastes a little bit too almondy and a little bit too artificial tasting. So if you really want a better pistachio syrup, I've heard some great reviews about the Modan pistachio syrup and even the pistachio syrup from Torani. I don't think either of those are sugar-free, so, you know, take it as you will. If you do want a sugar-free syrup that tastes somewhat like pistachio, I would go for this. But next time when I am looking for a pistachio syrup, definitely going to order it on Torani or Modan and give you guys that review, because this is definitely not my favorite pistachio taste ever. This one, the gingerbread latte from Jordan Skinny Syrups. I think that this does taste like gingerbread, but I wish it was a little bit sweeter. I think that this is a little bit too, like, maybe it's just because I don't like the gingerbread taste in my lattes, which probably definitely is it. I don't like it. This is purely on personal taste because it does taste different. It does taste unique. It tastes like gingerbread. This is just my personal preference. I probably won't get a gingerbread syrup at all after, you know, trying this. I might even do like a Modan gingerbread syrup or a Torani gingerbread syrup that's full sugar and not sugar-free. But if you want a sugar-free syrup, go for it in gingerbread, just because I feel like it does get you closest to the gingerbread flavor in a sugar-free essence, if that makes sense. The next one, ube from Geranium. This was completely my bad, okay? This is a syrup that I think tastes good. I think tastes like ube. I guess I just don't like ube in my lattes. So if you do like the taste of like ube wholeheartedly, want it in your iced coffees, iced matcha lattes, stuff like that, go for it. I think this is a great ube syrup. I have no problem with it. I just personally don't like it. So I will probably continue to use it in lattes just because I kind of want to get it out of the way. But if you want a full sugar, like ube syrup, go for it. I don't find a problem with it. I just wouldn't buy it again. Okay, so another one that I have that I will not be buying again is a sugar-free English toffee. I don't think it really tastes like anything. Maybe it's because it's sugar-free. Maybe it's because I don't like toffee. But I would like to try like the butter toffee in Jordan Skinny Syrups because I think that would be a little bit better. And I do want to try like the Modan toffee flavor or toffee nut flavor. I think that's really going to give me the toffee nut latte that I've been wanting in a Starbucks drink when I go to get toffee nut lattes. So would not recommend this, honestly. This, you know, take it as you will. Maybe if you find it on discount, because I have seen this on discount at some places, try it, see how you like it, but it's not my cup of tea. The last one that is the same thing as like the peanut butter cup, I have such a pet peeve over it. I think that Jordan Skinny Syrups didn't really do a good job on the maple donut. I don't think it really tastes mapley. Maybe I just have too high of expectations for maple, but I think that and the peanut butter cup in this entire pile is probably like my two absolutely would not buy again. Just because I don't know if I got a defective batch or what, but I don't like it. I don't think it tastes like maple donut at all. That's why I've been gearing not towards the like glazed donut flavor that they have because I don't want to go through this again. So this and the peanut butter cup, I definitely would not buy again. The other ones, it's like, you know, I personally am just not a fan of that flavor, or maybe just really like the English toffee, I just really didn't like, and I don't think it tastes like it. At least the one from Starbucks anyway. So yeah, those are those. I forgot that I do have some sauces in my fridge that I'm going to go through real fast, and then we'll finally wrap this video up for you guys. Okay, starting with this one. I love this. I love it so much. It's a sea salt caramel toffee sauce from Modan. I actually just got it in my other haul with Modan stuff, and I've been loving it. Absolutely love and adore this. It's not sugar-free, but I highly recommend it. It is so good. So far, the ones I've tried from Modan are really good, so go out and get those. But, you know, this especially, if you just want a different type of sauce, I think this is really good. I've also been wanting to try their Dolce de Leche sauce, so let me know if you've already tried it. Let me know how you like it. But no, definitely get this. Definitely get this one if you guys are going to go for a sauce. So this caramel one from Ghirardelli, I found this just because I was at Walmart or Target and they had this caramel syrup. I would like to get the caramel from Geranium. I have no problem with this. I just feel like the pour spout doesn't, I think it's more for like sundaes in my opinion, or just like a topping. It's kind of hard to squeeze out when I'm trying to do like a caramel macchiato or just a caramelly type of drink. So I would go for the Geranium. I don't have a problem with this flavor, but I want an easier pour spout. I want it to be a little bit more decadent for my caramel macchiatos. This is so good. This is so good. It's literally an Oreo in a tin or whatever, a pour spout. It's great. I pair it with the cookie dough syrup that I have from Jordan Skinny Syrups, and it tastes absolutely divine if I want an extra thing on top. I've also made like a cookie dough latte with a cookies and cream cold foam using the sauce. Absolutely wonderful. Highly would recommend. Same thing, you know, this is a great chocolate sauce, mocha sauce. I would like to try it in a different brand just because, again, the pour spout. I think that this actually pours a little bit better than the caramel one from Ghirardelli. But I will say that both of, like, all the Ghirardelli ones that I have need to be refrigerated, which is the only reason I keep them in the fridge. And I thought might as well put all of these in the fridge, all my sauces. But I would like to have something that's a little bit more shelf stable so it doesn't have to take up room in my fridge. And I think that the Torani ones don't need to be refrigerated, which, you know, take it as you will. But these definitely do need to be refrigerated. So just bear that in mind. And I think I would, again, do something with a little bit more of a better pour spout. Highly recommend this white mocha. I love it. I think it's to die for. I would like to maybe try the Modan white mocha, or, you know, I don't know, maybe another one, but I highly recommend this. Hands down, this is going to be my stable white mocha sauce forever. I think it's just really good. So if you want one, definitely get it. If you want like a sugar-free white mocha, like syrup, I have tried the one from Jordan Skinny Syrups, and I think that it is really good. So go out for it. I don't think it tastes exactly like a white mocha, but, you know, because it's sugar-free, it's going to be the way it is. I think that it's really good and a good substitute if you just want a sugar-free mocha. To die for. Absolutely wonderful. A1 stuff. I love this salted chocolate caramel sauce. I think it is absolutely amazing. I don't know if I would get it again just because I think I can make this concoction on my own, like with a caramel sauce and like, you know, like a chocolate sauce. You know, if I get a sea salt caramel sauce and mix it with chocolate, so I can, you know, differ the type of drinks I'm making with the two different syrups. But I think that if you just want an all-in-one, like this is what you go to at Starbucks, you know, the old salted chocolate caramel mocha that they have there or used to have there, I would go for this one. And I think that's about it for my sauces. There was one more syrup from Torani that I tried. It was the sugar-free classic caramel, and I don't like it. That is why I switched to the caramel from Jordan Skinny Syrups. I think that that caramel is better. So if you want to go for a sugar-free caramel, go for that one. But I just didn't really like the sugar-free classic caramel. Maybe I'll just try the regular caramel that they have, but the classic caramel was not my thing. So yeah, that is all I have for you guys today. I'm so excited that I got to show you my syrup collection. Again, it is a lot, and please don't feel like you need to go out and buy all of these to be able to make a really good cup of coffee every morning. I think honestly, I have a problem. TJ makes fun of me all the time for it. The reason I collect so many syrups is simply because I am a coffee content creator now. I definitely did not have half the syrups I had a few months ago, but I think that being able to make different recipes for you guys and stay on top of the coffee trends is the reason I have all of these coffee syrups. So definitely if you want some daily recipes for these, once you do go out and buy them, if you do really like them, definitely check out my TikTok for daily coffee recipes. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, or follow me on any of my social media platforms. And I hope you guys have a fantastic next week, and I will be at you guys with some more coffee content next week. Bye guys.